Hello, grade 2 and 3. Thank you for joining me for some math today. Now, this video might be a little bit long for some of you. You might want to break it up into two goes. So maybe you want to do your video half in the morning, half in the afternoon. Maybe you want to do some today, some tomorrow. You can always pause the video and come back to it if you're done math for the day. So today we have our daily math. We have some adding and subtracting of big numbers. Okay, so definitely tune in for that if you need help. We have some problem solving and some arrays, and then we're going to do some work on our 2 times tables. So in addition to this video, if you'd like to spend some time practicing your multiplication today, that would be awesome. All right, have a great day. I hope this math video helps you. Let's get going with our math. So find your spot, find your booklet or work from your screen, whatever you're doing. Find some quiet and turn on your math brain. Let's go. All right, grade 2 and 3 math stars, let's get started with our math today. So the first thing we have on this beautiful Monday is some patterning and algebra. So let's read what they're asking. Get yourself ready. Let's follow along. Write 2 multiplication sentences for the array. Okay, so this is our array, and we have to figure out 2 multiplication sentences. Now, arrays, guys, you guys are great at this. So let's practice. We have groups here. So let's look. These are our first equal groups. So we have groups of 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 groups of 2 is 10. And let's flip it. 2 groups of 5 is also 10. All right, number 2, draw an array. Write a division sentence and solve it. So first, it says 14 circles in 2 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because again, we have to have 14 circles all together. And what double makes 14? Well, 7. 7 times 2 is 14. So we're making 14 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's write that out. Okay, when we're making a division sentence, we start with our total, the biggest number, 14, and we've divided it into 2 rows, and each row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, number 3. Which number sentence has the same difference as 17 subtract 5? Now remember, difference just means the answer in multiplication, the difference between these 2 numbers. Not multiplication, subtractions. Oh my goodness, it's early in the morning. It means the difference between 2 numbers is the answer in subtraction. So let's do 17 subtract 5. 17 subtract 5, think about it. 7 subtract 5 is 2. So 17 subtract 5 is going to be a 10 and a 2. It's going to be 12. I'm going to zoom in a bit here so you guys can really see what I'm doing. Okay, so now we have to figure out which one of these has a difference of 12. Okay, so 14 subtract 3. 14 subtract 3 is going to be 11. That's no good. 18, well, it is good. I'm glad it's 11, but it's not 12. 18 subtract 4. So what's 8 subtract 4 is 4. So this one's going to be 14. That's not going to help us. 20 subtract 8. All right, 10 subtract 8 is 2. So 20 subtract 8 is a 10 and a 2. It's 12. C! C is our winner. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, on to number 4. There are 15 apples. If you share the apples equally with 3 friends, how many apples will each one get? So let's draw it. It's asking us to draw it. Let's draw it, okay? So we have 15 apples, okay? 15 apples, and we are dividing them into equal groups for each of our 3 friends. So I'm going to make baskets here. This is how I did this with the grade 4s the other day. Those are my apple baskets. Okay, and we're going to count equally. How many apples does each person get if we distribute them equally? So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do you see how I'm putting one in each basket? 13, 14, 15. 15 divided by 3, how many are in each basket? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are in each basket. So we already drew a situation, right? We put our apples in the basket. There are 5 in each friend's basket. Okay, so if I take 15 apples and I distribute them equally to my 3 friends, so this is my first friend's basket, this is my second friend's basket, this is my third friend's basket, and I distributed them equally. I handed out 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you, 2 for you, 2 for you, 2 for you, and I kept going like that, okay? So you are going to draw, you could draw an array, you could practice this with the baskets, but pause the video and I want you to do, you could do 3 baskets and practice handing out the apples to each of your friends. Okay, so go pause the video and try that before we move on to our next part, okay? So hopefully you did pause the video and try this because it's a good skill to practice. Now we are going to move on to adding bigger numbers. So it's just like adding 2-digit numbers. When we add 3-digit numbers, we just have to keep one more column in mind. So I'm just going to cover this up so it's not distracting you and you can really focus on what we are working on this moment. So let's practice adding big numbers. Big numbers. Okay, let's get my sheet here, make sure it's not gonna get in your way. Move my markers out of the way. Okay, we're gonna practice adding our big numbers. So we start, okay, I'm gonna do Grandma and Grandpa's way and partial sums, depending on the problem. So for this one, I am going to do Grandma and Grandpa's way. So first I look, what is 8? I'm gonna start with my 1s, work on my 10s and my 100s. Okay, 1s, 10s, and 100s. So first, I'm going to add my 1s. 8 plus 5. Okay, so I know 5 and 5 is 10. And I know that 8 is 3 more than 5. So 5 and 5 is 10, 11, 12, 13. So I put my 3 here. And I put my 1. I have an extra 10, so that moves over to the next column. You can't really see what I'm doing, so I'm going to zoom in. There we go. Might make it a little easier. So now I have my 3 1s, and I had so many 1s that it turned into a 10 and I had to move it over to the next column. So now I have 10s to add. I have 4 10s and 3 10s to start with. But then if I have this extra 1 here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, okay, 3 and 1 is 4. 4 and 4 is 8. Okay, my next one, I'm going to do 600s plus 200s because I didn't have any extra hundreds to add to this because 8 10s is not more than 100. Now I'm on my hundreds. 600s plus 200s is 800s. Okay, on to the next one. So I have 475 plus 370. I am going to, for this one, I am going to also do Grandma and Grandpa's way. So I'm going to add each column up, my 1s, my 10s, and my 100s. And I'm going to talk you through Grandma and Grandpa's way. So for Grandma and Grandpa's way, we start on the 1s. 5 plus 0 is 5. Now we move on to our 10s. We have 70 plus 70, 7 10s plus 7 10s. Double 7 is 14, so I have 14 10s. Now 14 10s is 140. So if you look at 140, I have 4 10s, but I have 100. So I just have to make sure that I keep track of that. So I'm going to put my 4 10s here, but I have that 100, it's going to go up here. Okay, now I'm going to add all my hundreds, including my 1 here. So 1 and 4 is 5, 6, 7, 8 hundreds. Okay, now we're going to go on to number 3. Number 3, 167 plus 523. For this one, I'm going to cross out this 140 so it's not confusing you. For this one here, I'm going to use partial sums. So 7 plus 3. Again, I add my ones, I add my tens, I add my hundreds. I'm going to start by adding my ones. 7 and 3, well, that's a name for 10, so I just write 10. Now I move on. 60 plus 20 is 80. And then I add my hundreds. 100 plus 500 is 600. Now I've got all my sums added up. I have a total for my ones. I have a total for my tens. I have a total for my hundreds. And now I add all of those up together if I'm using partial sums. 0, 0, 0, 0. 1 and 8 is 9. And then 6. Now, if you added using a different strategy and you got 690, know that you're on the right track. You use whatever strategy works for you, okay? Now we are going to go on to the next one. And for this one, 136 plus 681, I'm going to go back to Grandma and Grandpa's way because I think that's one we need to practice watching. So I'm going back to Grandma and Grandpa's way, but if you feel like doing partial sums, work on partial sums. Add your ones, add your tens, add your hundreds, put them down here, and then find a total. So 6 and 1 is 7. 3 and 8, okay, I know 2 and 8 is 10, so 3 and 8 is going to be 11. Now, it's 30 plus 80. That's 110. 30 plus 80 is 110. So I've got my ones column, my tens column, and my hundreds column. I need to figure out how to write 110 so that I can keep all my numbers straight. So there's no ones. Don't have to worry about that. There's 110. And there's 100, so I'm going to put my 100 up here, okay? Now I'm going to add this. 1 and 1 is 2, and then add 6 more. 2 and 6 is 8. So I have 8 hundreds, 110, 7 ones, 817. Okay, on to subtraction. Students, move this so my numbers are out of the way. It's just the grade 5's math sheet, no big deal. Okay. Now, let's practice subtracting bigger numbers. So I'm going to zoom in on where we are working. We're going to practice subtracting bigger numbers. So subtracting is the same as addition. Start with your ones, work your way across to your hundreds. So these are my ones, these are my tens, these are my hundreds. Now remember, with addition, you are moving those numbers around in the columns. With subtraction, you are too, but it might be borrow from a neighbor. So let's try. 7 subtract 3. Well, 7 is bigger than 3, so I can do that without borrowing. 7 subtract 3 is 4. My ones are done. Now I move on to my tens. 5 subtract 6. Now, can I do that? No, I can't, because 5 is smaller than 6. If I take 6 away, I won't have enough to take 6 away. So now I need to borrow from my neighbor. So I go over and I go to the hundreds. And I have 500 here, so I'm just going to turn that into 400. And then I'm going to move. So 100 is the same as 10 times 10. It's the same as 10 tens. Okay, so 100 is the same as 10 tens. And I'm going to move one of those, or 10 tens, over here. So now I have 15 tens, because I've moved 100. I have 15 tens. And to make that clear, now I have 15 tens. 15 tens subtract 6 tens is 9 tens. 150, right? I have 150. I have 15 tens. 150 subtract 6 tens is 9 tens. All right, 4 subtract 2 is 2. So my total is 294. All right, on to the next one. 787 subtract 7. Now, all of my numbers in my tens and my ones are bigger than my numbers underneath them, the numbers we're finding the difference of. So this one's really simple. You do your ones, you do your tens, you do your hundreds, and you're good. No regrouping necessary. So 7 subtract 5 is 2. 8 subtract 6 is also 2. And 7 subtract 7 is 0. So my difference is 22. Okay. And you know that that seems right because these two numbers seem pretty close to each other. Okay, they both have 700s and high numbers of tens. All right, on to the next one. So this one I'm looking, I also don't have to regroup on this one. I do have to get my paper to stop moving in front of my work. So I don't have to regroup on this one. So let's just do our ones, our tens, and our hundreds, and we'll be good to go. So 9 subtract 7 is 2. 3 subtract 1 is also 2. 9 subtract 5, 900 subtract 500 is going to be 400s. And remember, this was 30 subtract 10, and that means 20. Let's read our number. 422. I have 400s, 2 tens, which is 20, and 2 ones. Okay, on to the next one, and I see with the next one, I am going to have to do some borrowing and regrouping. So we will practice this together. So I'm going to start with my ones, move on to my tens, then work on my hundreds. 9 subtract 1 is 8. 0 subtract 7. Now, if I have nothing, I can't take 7 away from that. I'm going to have to borrow from my neighbor. So I go to the hundreds, cross out the hundreds. Now I have 5 hundreds. I'm taking 100, but that's 10 tens. So now I have 10 tens. 10 subtract 7 is 3 tens. So 100 subtract 70 is 30. So far I have 38. I still need to figure out what my difference is in my hundreds. 500 subtract 400 is 100. So my total is 138. Okay, you might have to rewind that and watch it again, because I know that some of us still are learning the steps of subtracting and regrouping. And the rest of us are practicing the steps because it's important. Now for this one, it's pretty easy. I can see that 9 is bigger than 8, 9 is bigger than 4, and 9 is bigger than 4. So I just have to do my hundreds, tens, and ones. I start with my ones, and I just have to subtract, no regrouping. 9 subtract 8 is 1. 9 subtract 4 is, think about it, 5. You're right, 5 plus 4. I realize I'm giving you all the answers I want you to think about. 9 subtract 4, what did we just say it was? 5. So I have 5 hundreds, 5 tens, and 5 1, or 1 1, 551. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to our brain stretch. I'm going to zoom out for that. Our brain stretch for today. It says, how many eggs are there in 3 dozen? How many eggs are there in 3 dozen? So a dozen is 12. So to figure out 3 dozen, we have to go 3 times 12. Now some of you have been practicing your 3 times tables. I'm going to cross that out because it's distracting and confusing. Some of you have been practicing your 3 times tables. So 3 times 12 is going to be easy for you because you're remembering your facts. If you haven't been, fret not. You can solve this 2 different ways. You can do 12 plus 12 plus 12. Okay, or you can count by 3s 12 times. So my 3s pattern is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. So we're going to count by 3s 12 times. Oh, got to move my paper. This is 12 times. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. I can also just add all 3 12s. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. 10 plus 10 plus 10 is 30. 36. So both ways I'm getting the same answer. Or maybe you've just memorized your facts. Awesome. Both ways I'm getting the same answer. 3 times 12 is 36. There are 36 eggs in that dozen, or in 3 dozen. Okay, now we're going to do some arrays, my favorite. So it says draw an array and write the fact family for each of these multiplication equations. Now if you're looking at this and you're going, I don't know what any of those words mean, check out my bonus math lesson. So there's a bonus math lesson for grade 2 and grade 3s on arrays and fact families, and you can find that on my YouTube channel under the bonus math lesson. Okay, let's go do it. So 3 times 9, we're going to draw an array. So I'm going to do 3 groups of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and I've done my 3's up here. If I wanted to find the total, I could count by 3's 9 times. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So let's try that down here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Okay, I've checked that I have 3 times 9 is 27. I've made my array. Now I'm going to make my fact family. So we start with multiplication. They live upstairs. 3 times 9 is 27. Okay, I made my house too small. They're going to be cramped. 9 times 3 is 27. Remember, if I turn my array on its side, it's the same. Now, my division, I'm going to write these down here so I have more room. 20, this house is weird. It's got a wide first floor. 27 divided by 3 is 9. 27 divided by 9 is, you guessed it, 3. And the foundation of any fact family, the basement, whatever you want to call it, the foundation that the fact family's house rests on is always repeated addition. Whew, this is going to be a lot of 3's. So I'm going to write 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. How many do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's 27. Do you see why we write it like this? That gets old fast. And then 9 plus 9 plus 9 is 27. So I have my multiplication of my family upstairs, my division of my family downstairs, and the foundation of all of this is repeated addition. Okay, let's do the next one. 2 times 9 is 18. So we need 2. This is 3 times 9. So we had 3 groups of 9. Now we have 2 groups of 9. So let's make 2 groups of 9. I'm going to try to cover some of this up to make it a little easier to see. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here I have 2 groups of 9, 2 groups of 9, and they are 18. So I can write my fact family now. I'm going to make it a little bigger this time, my fact family's house. Okay, so we're going to put our multiplication facts upstairs. 2 times 9 is 18. 9 times 2 is 18. Now my division facts, they can go underneath. They go on the first floor. I've got 18 divided by 9 is 2. And 18 divided by 2 is 9. Because fact families, we use all the same numbers. Now, what is the foundation of every fact family for multiplication and division? I'm going to draw my foundation, my basement, the thing that the whole house is built on. You're right. It's repeated addition. So let's do it. We have to do 9 groups of 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Oh my goodness. 18. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups of 2 is 18. Okay, now my next fact family, or my next repeated addition is just 9s. 9 plus 9 is 18. Okay, that's all it is. Let's move on to the next page, everybody. Okay, so we are on to the next page. I'm going to zoom out. This one is from my multiplication station. If we were in school, you would all be working on my multiplication station. I love multiplication station. It's a good way to learn together. What we are going to be doing this morning, is we are going to be working through the 2's rule. So the 2's rule. The 2's rule, guys, when you multiply a number by 2, the answer is always double. It's a double, okay? That's all the 2's rule is. So 2 times 2, double 2 is 4. 2 times 0, now if I have 0 and I double it, I still have 0. 4 times 2 is 8. Double 4 is 8. 2 times 5, what's double 5? 10. 1 times 2, you guys really should pause this video and try this on your own and then check your work with me because you can all do this. So pause the video and try this on your own and then press play and work through this, okay? Now hopefully you did that because I'm going to keep going. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 4, double 4 is 8. 3 times 2, double 3 is 6. 2 times 3, double 3 is still 6. 0 times 2 is 0. 2 times 1, double 1 is 2. 5 times 2, double 5 is 10. 2 times 2, double 2 is 4. When you multiply a number by 2, the answer is always double the number. Can you see when I write right there? Double the number. Okay, so these multiplication rules are good to remember. So do write that down and read it to yourself. When you multiply a number by 2, the answer is always double the number. Now we're going to move on to the multiplication wheel. The multiplication wheel today. Now, when you see these, a lot of people, even in grade 4, get worried about what this means. All it means is, it's like those addition robots that we made, where like the input, output, right? So I have 2 times 2 times, and I'm going to multiply each number by 2. So 2 times 0, anything times 0 is 0. 2 times 1, double 1 is 2. 2 times 2, again, pause this video, fill in the circle, and then press play and check your work. So 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3, double 3 is 6. 2 times 4, double 4 is 8. I hope you pause the video and try this on your own. 2 times 5, double 5 is 10. Okay, so for the rest of your math today, you should be spending about half an hour on math and half an hour on ELA. For the rest of your math today, maybe if you want some more math time, I mean, this video took about half an hour, half of your allotted math time for today. But if you're thinking, I really want to get better at multiplication, I want to be a multiplication master, then I want you to go. You can check out the bonus lesson on fact families and arrays if you haven't yet. If not, go practice your 2 times table. So write them out. Write them out like this. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. Write them out to 2 times 10. Practice them. I've got some awesome videos from some people in our class of them practicing their 2 times tables. I love to see it. Keep practicing those times tables facts, guys. It will make next year so much more fun for you. Not only that, but this year, knowing your multiplication facts is a huge asset to your math learning. That means it's something that helps you. Okay, next year, you're gonna have to do multiplication questions like this. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm gonna show you. So say next year, we're gonna be doing something like this. This is what my grade 4s are working on right now. 346 times 3. So the only way you're gonna not freak out when you see that is if you've learned your facts this year. So spend some time learning your facts, so when you are working with me next year, or whoever you're working with next year, you will be working, you'll know this, and I'm gonna show you why this is important. Okay, if I wanted to do hundreds, all like 346 times 3, if I've learned my facts, well, these are 3 times tables. Let's turn this to a 2 because we're working on 2's facts. If I've learned 346 times 2, I've also learned my doubles rule. I know anything times 2, I just double it. So I could go 346 plus 346 to figure it out. Or I can use my multiplication facts. I'm going to show you. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8, but it's 2 times 40, so it's 80. 2 times 300 is 600. And then I add them together, 296. Or sorry, 292. Do you guys understand? Obviously you don't understand this yet, but this is what you're working towards, guys. In grade 4 and grade 5, you're gonna be doing this. So what I'm asking you to do in grade 3 and why, or grade 2 and grade 3, why this is important is if you know these facts, when you move on to this, it's gonna be a piece of cake, okay? It's gonna be so easy and you're gonna love it. If you don't know your facts and you move on to this bigger multiplication, you're gonna be going, I don't know what 2 times 6 is. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Now I have to use my brain power to figure that out. Oh my goodness, this is so hard. So to make yourself a math master, a multiplication master, your focus right now, don't worry about this right now, worry about learning these facts this year. We're gonna practice, 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 practice. You might think, Mrs. Oakes, I'm done with multiplication. I'm done, I don't want any more. The reason I'm pushing you on multiplication facts this year, again, is so that in grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, grade 7, and the rest of your life, you have those tucked away in your brain ready to help you, okay? So practice your facts today. I'm gonna stop talking in circles. Practice your facts today. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you back on Wednesday for more math.